Strelok is 3-0.
Yes.
3-0.
He's the division leader. Very clear. He's 5 points, and everyone else has 1 point or lower. So Strelok, this is if he loses this, is a huge hit to the standings.
And if we go the opposite way around, TLO really needs this. Now, the main reason why he needs it is because everybody else is really close together. Yes, there's only been 3 weeks, or this is the 4th week to go in, but everybody's really close, and you want to start separating yourself from the pack, the big boys from the men. All right, I guess the little boys from the men.
No,
that would make a little
big boys from the men.
Big boys from the men. So TLO needs this. He needs to get this win, because if he goes, I think, 2 losses, that would be horrible for his
Well, I mean,
career.
if you consider it right now, guys, again, a little bit of a look into the division standings after we introduce our players real quick.
All right.
In the bottom left, we have Strelok, the Green Terran from Team FXO, currently first in his division with 5 points. And in the top right, we have TLO from Team Liquid, so TLO, the Red Zerg. In the top right, Dario Wunsch, once a huge fan favorite when he played Terran, now struggling as a Zerg, but looking sharp thus far. And Strelok, again, he's on the top of the division with 5 points. If he loses 2-0 or 2-1, he goes down to 4 points. And all of a sudden, these people who have 1 point, Mana, Gonzi, Sed, they all have an opportunity to overtake first and close the gap significantly, making a wide open division compared to a complete dominance by Strelok. So this is a very key map for Strelok.
And I think this is a well-chosen map, because, as we talk about so many times, Shakur's Plateau is really hard to expand. If you're a Zerg player, I should say. If you're Zerg, the 4th base is one of the hardest things to take, because there are so many different access points for that 4th base to be either pushed upon or harassed. So we'll see how TLO actually goes about this. Some people just say, hey, I don't care if the 4th base is hard to take. I'm going to defend it properly and just play it out. Other players just say, well, I don't want it to go to 4 base. I want it to stick on 3 base and just kill you straight away. We'll see what TLO chooses to do here on Shakur's Plateau.
Are you talking about the 4th base in the bottom right?
It could be the bottom right or
like
the 2 middle expansions.
By the watchtower, right? Yeah, I was thinking of the watchtower.
So it could be, normally you take your 3rd base over here. This is the safest. It's not towards a push distance, which is this one over here and this one over here near the watchtowers. And then you don't want to take it down here, because it could be sniped with some really good, what is that play? Dropship play. So normally you just take your 3rd over here, and then you have the same problem. Where do I take my 4th? Is it going to be in the bottom right-hand corner or the middle expansions? Normally it's the bottom right-hand corner, but as we said, dropships are very strong against that.
And speaking of, Strelok's kind of style, and especially on Shakur's Plateau, the drone does get picked off before able to steal gas once again. But this map is also very excellent for 2-base timings, as per usual, especially because Shakur's Plateau, you can kind of get back into a corner very easily, and there's a long distance between the main and the natural for Zerg, and that's kind of the trickiness there. Strelok opening for triple command center, though. And this is much different from his opening game number 1. Again, if you're just joining us, game number 1, Strelok opened very similarly in terms of the exterior, but interior he actually had a second factory with Blue Flame, and now he's going for a fast 3rd command center. What do you think about this?
I like it. Normally when you see a Reaper expand, you are not expecting a double command center directly behind that. You are normally expecting some sort of tech, because why get out the tech lab? What purpose is it going to serve a little bit later on? Normally it is something like super fast upgrades, and then we do some sort of bio timing, or it's really fast upgrades and we do some sort of Hellion and bio timing. There's a lot of different things that you have to prepare for. I think TLO assumes something like that, but he's not really expecting his opponent to do a triple orbital command center, which I really like. This is just mind gaming his opponent a little bit there. It's going to be up to TLO, though. Can he identify this in time? He needs an overlord over here in this bottom right-hand position. Normally you put one over there.
Yeah.
But if he gets one over there, it will be a really nice indicator that his opponent is going this build.
Yeah, TLO is actually, this is the 2nd time, and I guess this is kind of pertaining to his scouting patterns, but he always has pretty much only one Overlord just outside the natural, and it could be because a lot of Terrans have been picking off the first Overlord based off scouting position. They've been proxying the barracks accordingly, so TLO being very cautious with his Overlords, and you can see the Reaper catches sight of both the Overlords, so TLO should know that there's a scout incoming, but I guess he might be distracted by the Hellions in the middle of the map.
Yep. And it looks like the Reaper will just run in here and die while seeing nothing. Yeah. Meantime, an Overlord is going to try to get across over here. The third base is under attack, but I do feel like maybe not. Maybe TLO won't be able to stop this. He has no Roach Warren. His metabolic boost is just about to finish, but it's only 12 Zerglings for now. Okay, Queens are good. Queens are real good.
This is really clever by Strelok. He hides this as if it's going to be, a Marauder Hellion timing attack. And when in reality, he's switching back over to Marine Tank, and so he's really trying to force TLO to overreact to this. And you can see he's trying to go for a surround on the Hellions. Will he be able to get it? And looks like he does, but the Hellions are just absolutely wrecking those Zerglings. And now they're trying to focus on the Marauders, but there are enough Hellions should be able to clean up. And Strelok does manage to kill off a huge majority of them, but getting a little sloppy with his Hellion control as well, losing a few here and there. Nonetheless, Strelok has successfully bait out a lot of units from TLO. You can see the worker count is nowhere near where it should be.
Exactly. Terran is way ahead, and not only that, the third and fourth gas for the Zerg have not been taken. For Strelok, he's taken his third gas, so it allows him to tech up and make consistent amount of units. The big problem is the upgrades. The upgrades are pretty far behind, so Strelok will be in a little bit of trouble in that respect. He will have to play pretty defensive until 2-2. 2-2 is when, of course, his opponent has 2-2, he has 2-2, and the main reason why there are a lot of timings involving that is because to get 3-3, you have to wait a long amount of time. You can see it's 190 seconds just for 1-1. For 2-2, it takes a lot, or excuse me, 3-3, it takes a lot longer, so normally there is a time where both of you are equal upgrades, and you could take advantage of that time with more units.
And, this is cool because this is a mix-up of ultimately what Strelok has. His goal is this, this Marine tank composition, and as he does it, push out and grab a third. We've seen this so many times with Shakuras. I just like how he opened up to it. Nonetheless, TLO has been, he defended very adequately, didn't lose that many drones. He lost 2 drones, so he's been able to keep his economy intact, and you can see that he's still droning out very comfortably, and he's now starting to spread his creep. So TLO still looks pretty sharp going to mid game. It's just that his options to shut down this third with aggression isn't as high as it normally would be based off that earlier push.
Exactly, and I think Strelok, his plans are just to macro up and do nothing else but macro. Just get a ton of units, Marines, and siege tanks, situate his place, and just play the map. As we were talking about, you want to take advantage of the fact that the fourth base is so far away from anything. TLO is opting to put it in the bottom right-hand corner, so it's pretty important to get those medevacs out ASAP. And look at that, 2 starports. I think this is a mistake. I think Strelok didn't mean to do this. He thought he didn't make his initial starport, because normally there aren't any air transitions right now, so that's kind of a shame. And yeah, he does put a reactor on his first starport, so this is just a little mistake, unfortunate for Strelok, but it won't be of much consequence.
And we see TLO is now starting its hive pretty early. 12.5 minutes in the game, and I guess he really wants to go for a fast tech. He's removing also these rocks and trying to be annoying, spread his creep everywhere. And for now, Strelok knows that these rocks are being opened as well. Now just open up another avenue. Now TLO, a huge proponent for counterattacks. We saw it last week with Mana, and he just loves this style of constantly, if you turn your back for 1 second, he'll always try to run past your units to go for some damage. And Strelok, he's aware of that. He's going to have to be very careful with his defenses.
The supply depots are up, so TLO could, if he could get there, there is a sensor tower right over there. He could try to swing past it, but I don't know. I think Strelok is a player that could defend against that pretty easily. 2-2 about to kick in, so I guess TLO is thinking this is his time. He wants to take advantage of the brief window where he has 2-2, his opponent does not. We'll see if he does anything right now, as a lot of Zerglings are inbound for all over the place. He might be going for a huge surround, just trying to overrun his opponent.
Look at it, too. He's keeping units just outside of the sensor tower range. And this is looking so great. This is like the super flank from Naruto, man. When they all attack Konoha, there are Zergling ninjas everywhere, and the walls is nowhere near complete for Strelok. And look at the surround from TLO. The minutes of preparation have finally come to fruition. As you can see, the siege tank firing onto the Zerglings, killing his own SCVs, and Strelok, his third is completely exposed. The wall, the natural is down. No, Strelok's going to lose a lot of economy here, not just at his third.
Oh, and Strelok just now gets stim. That whole engagement, he had no stim, no combat shields.
No 2-2.
Maybe it would have been a little bit better then, but TLO hitting a pretty critical timing right there, and that's exactly what he needs to go into that end game stage. Look at that 3-3 and Ultra Caverns on the way out right now. Strelok is in a terrible position. He needed to stabilize there. Again, he needed to be a little bit more defensive, get that stim, get that combat shields, and put down bunkers. So it's unfortunate. But here we go again. TLO is gearing up to defend against this imminent threat.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's got pretty good vision. He knows, and Strelok's in a very vulnerable spot. He's got one tank in position, two completely separate from the other half of the army, and you can see a massive stim from Strelok. Now, TLO does have 2-2. 2-2 almost finishing for Strelok just in time for that fight, so he could have also lost a lot more units, but Strelok holds for now. TLO's supply is also considerably low. But the fact is his upgrades in tech have been preparing him for a huge tech switch, and you can see that TLO is completely controlling the map. And
Strelok does not have a timing right now.
Yeah.
2-2 is hit, and he just does not have enough units. The main reason why you want to have enough units is you want the SimCity, not the SimCity, but the terrain to help you out a lot. These little areas, you need a lot of units to actually cover up all that area and make it so Zerglings can't run by. With this, he has just such limited amounts of Marines. He will be able to run by anywhere, and you can see the Zerglings will get in really efficiently. And look at this Banelings!
The Baneling flank, and a great pickup from Strelok, but still, he had to disposition himself and lose several units. And now, again, TLO's positioning with his units have been very impeccable this game thus far, and forcing Strelok into corners that he's not really used to. You can see, normally, you know, the Marines like to kite behind and towards the tower and force into that small choke, but TLO came from the north, utilizing those brushes and using the blind side from Strelok, and overall has been able to hold off the Terran pressure. At the same time, Strelok is constantly trying to inch his way forward, Andre. As you can say, he doesn't have a timing, but he's still trying to forge something here.
Well, Strelok lost his timing now. 3-3 is just about finished, and once 3-3 is up, you do not want to be attacking into any Zergs at all. Stay defensive, make sure you have good positioning, and get a good army composition. If anything, try to attack drones, but you do not want to be engaging with the full armies. It's just such a big advantage for the Zerg.
TLO about to finish up his Greater Spire. Infestors are almost out into the field, and a couple more upgrades in the production. TLO, despite him having kind of low supply for 18.5 minute mark, is really deceiving because his power is all in the potential of the larva that's currently sitting. He does get caught by one fungal. That could have ended much worse. But Strelok's been making some pretty good moves. You can see his control has been on point. It's just he doesn't have that strong of a timing.
What is he doing here, though? He can't be pushing out. This is the worst time to push out. He still doesn't have 3-3. They're only, you know, 80 seconds away. You might as well wait for that. Mass up to 200, but no, he wants to pick a fight with TLO, and this is not going to do well.
Look at the flank from the north as well. Again, trapping Strelok's army, completely cornering him, and there it is. GG. TLO showing he has the chops.
Smash in face, man.
Great ZVT and great positioning.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Really well played by TLO, I have to say. A bit of impatience, I think. Normally you will, at that point, that's like your key harassment time. When you're waiting for that 3-3 to kick in, you do nothing. You just wait out and have your 3-3 kick in, then it actually enables you to do stuff. And that's normally the phase where Zergs kind of transition. They go for that Greater Spire switch, or they go for, you know, the Mass Ultras, anything. But that's normally when Zergs kind of relax and don't do anything. But Strelok's like, no, I'm going to keep attacking. And when that happened, Teal's like, wait, really? Really?
Yeah, it's like I can just surround.
No. And he just gobbled it up like the Cookie Monster,
He didn't even really need Brewlords, but let's go back to the replay and just catch a good moment from that game.
Yeah.
You can see right here that Strelok trying to defend his third as the Zerglings getting positioned everywhere. And that's kind of the whole idea, the psychological effect of opening the rocks. You can see Strelok concentrate a lot of his Marines, leaving his tanks very exposed and spread out all over the place. And TLO able to really pick apart the Terran army.
Well, Stim wasn't finished. Combat Shield wasn't finished. 2-2 wasn't finished. There was just a plethora of things that were wrong with Strelok's defense. He wasn't able to get it in time. And I can understand where he's coming from. Let me real quick go into the strategy of that.
Sure.
Normally, when you get a position like that and you have it for so long, you say, my opponent should not have the audacity to attack me at this point. There's just so many things I can have. I can have Hellions out in the field. I can have over-upgraded Marines. I can have great defenses, bunkers all over the place. So to invest in something like that is kind of crazy, right? So he says there's no potential for my opponent to think that I can't defend against something like that. Let's not even defend it, upgrade all the important things, and get the army composition that I exactly need, which are the siege tanks and the right amount of infrastructure, and then go from there. He was trying to really concentrate all of his minerals and gas into getting his production and then supercharging his army once he was able to establish his SEV count and his production. It's just unfortunate that Strelok ran into that, because TLO, he was just like, I'm not taking this. I'm going to go for it.
And that'll do it for our segment, the Greetorp University, as you can tell that he was going on. But that's a great analysis of the situation, especially reading from TLO's POV, and you can understand the mindset from a Terran player. Thank you so much to Azo, the sponsor of NASL, for providing the monitors and all the things you can do to watch 1080p quality of NASL Season 3.